Hi, I'm Paula, and this is Knitting Pipeline Extra. I believe it is number 16, and I'm here in my home in central Illinois. It's a chilly day. It was 32 degrees this morning when I went out for my walk, and I think the high today is going to be about 40 something, but I'm looking forward to the Knitting Pipeline Eagle Crest Retreat, which actually starts tomorrow, but I'm pretty much ready for it, so I decided to do a quick video. You can find me on Ravelry as Prairie Piper and on Instagram and YouTube as Knitting Pipeline. My audio podcast is Knitting Pipeline. It's on iTunes, and you can also direct download from my blog, which is knittingpipeline.com. I can't remember if I said, I think I did say I'm Prairie Piper on Ravelry. Yes, I did. Anyway, I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit there. Those are mittens on my newel post. They were made by Lori Serenity, and they're going downstairs, which is why they're there. And she was sending those to me. Well, why don't I just get them, and you can see them too. For my Maine retreat, and the one in Maine and the one here in Illinois at the Eagle Crest Retreat Center, I collect mittens for charity, 2 different charities, and Lori sent these classic mittens that are so gorgeous. There's just something about a plain classic mitten that I absolutely love. Look at this. I mean, they're just so homey and lovely. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate that so much. Okay, now that I've probably made too much noise for those of you with earbuds. It has been a while since I did one of these. I think my last one was at the end of August, and we were expecting a call from our kids and that they were having the baby, which they did. And I remember I said at the end of that one, I'll see you next month. Well, now 2 months have gone by, so it's quite a lot of time, and I'm not going to show everything I've done in the last 2 months, but I think I have enough to show. And the first thing is, this is my antler cardigan that I talked about in episode 293 of the Knitting Pipeline audio podcast. It is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. I made it out of Quince & Company Lark in the Odd One colorway. Let me stand up so you can see what it looks like. There it is. I can easily, sometimes I do like to wear things buttoned all the way down, but I have not been too much with this. I've been buttoning about 3 buttons down. And there you can see. Now, what you notice right away is that the neckline is a little different. I'm not sure it's actually supposed to be this way. I don't know where that shadow is coming from. Hang on just a second. People tell me I don't need to worry so much about these things, but I don't know where it's coming from, so it's kind of bothering me. Anyway, the neckline is kind of a boat neck on me. I don't know that it's supposed to be that way. I might have messed up my row gauge a little bit, but I decided to just start wearing it and see. And actually, it's not like it falls off. I just think it looks a little strange, so I might tighten up the neck a little bit, but it is a really nice, cozy, warm sweater, and I love Quince & Company Lark. It was fun to knit, just plain stockinette until you get up here. I did add waist shaping on it, but you would not have to do that. It's perfectly fine without it. And today I had on my, I'm not going to be able to think of the name of this. I know it's Helen Stewart's, but one of Helen Stewart's. It's in my Ravelry project page, so I'll probably leave that on since it's a little chilly today in here. Usually with this sweater, I will wear something around my neck anyway, so it might not really matter. And then, let's see, I'm going to look through my basket here. I made a little sweater for my two and a half year old. Well, she's not 2.5 yet, but she's over 2. This lighting is killing me. Okay, there it is. The sweater is called Little Willet by Dawn Catanzaro, and it's in Quince and Company Willet, which is cleaner cotton. So the processing for this cotton is more environmentally and humanly friendly. Um, so I like that. And it's just, it's a navy color. I can't remember what they call it, but it's sort of a navy blue. And I added some embroidery to it. I was going to take it out. I kept thinking I'd take it out, but the more I had it in, the more I started liking it. I did some little Palestrinian knots down here at the corner. And the neckline was really big, so I ended up cinching it in, doing a running stitch, and it's adjustable. My son or daughter-in-law, I imagine the daughter-in-law will be doing it. I have a string back here. She can either tighten this up or just leave it as is. I just got a message on my computer that, no, please do not install now. Sorry about that. So that's called Little Willet, and I don't know. I'm not just head over heels in love with it, but I think it's a good serviceable sweater. I would, if I did it again, I would knit the garter stitch yoke in a smaller size, maybe even 2 sizes down, because garter stitch is naturally more wide than stockinette. So that would probably be a good idea to do that the next time. Now, I haven't talked about these yet on the podcast, but I think I'm going to be sending them off before I do another knitting one. This, okay, let me find the front. Here's the front of this little hat. Everything's reversed in the camera here. So this is Campanula, and I will link. I'm sorry, I can't remember the designer's name. It was a free pattern for a couple of days, and I got it. There were definitely some problems with it, but I think she's fixed them now. I made 2 because I'm not sure if this will fit the new baby. She has kind of a big head, but it's going to look adorable on her. She has a little round face, and she has black hair that sticks straight up. She's precious. Okay, so this is a variation of the little devil hat that I've been making, or I made for the first time 40 years ago. It's almost ubiquitous in Scandinavia. Everybody has them on children, and I made those, and I need to do an episode about that because I introduced Elizabeth Zimmerman to that hat, and she and I had fun with it, talking about it, writing back and forth and talking about it. Okay, this is a reminder that I got these, well, my granddaughters live in North Carolina, the 2-year-old and a newborn. And my friend Jan Marie gave me the idea, and I finally am doing it. But I got t-shirts at Target for $4 or $5 in different sizes. So now when I'm knitting for them, I can take these t-shirts and sort of see if the size is working out for their age. So this one is a 3T, and then I got a 2T. And I can pretty much, with the smaller sizes, I think I can eyeball it, and so I don't worry about that too much. So that's a little tip for you from Jan Marie and me. Here's a hat I made. This is called Hunter, and it's one of the Tin Can Knits. It's in, I think it's in Road Trip, maybe. I can't remember. But I made this out of, I don't know. I think it might have been some Blackberry Ridge woolen mill. It's just a little cabled hat. I think I'm going to give that away. And then, I don't think I mentioned these on the show because they're just a 3x1 rib men's sock, but they're in, what's her name? Rachel. Night Owl Fibers that I bought on Etsy, and she's getting out and doing, she was at Stitches Midwest, and I was actually working on these at the time, and so I showed them to her. They were in my purse, actually. When we were in Maine, we had a workshop by Donna Kay, who is a really good teacher. If you have a chance, she mostly teaches locally around in New England, but she did a color work workshop, and this is the hat that I made, which was her pattern that she uses for teaching. And I made it in a large size. It fits my husband perfectly. This I used Susan B. Anderson's company's yarn, Barrett wool, and in the natural colors, and I really like it. It has a hem on the bottom and then just a simple color work pattern, and really enjoyed the class. I think everybody did, and I think my husband's glad to get a new hat. So, all right, what else? Oh, I have some mittens. Let me look here at my cardigan. Okay, I have almost finished my Gigi, but I'm not going to show that now. And okay, let me get this. In my Wednesday night group, it's just a community knit night. I had some people that were doing really well, and I thought they were ready for mittens. I'm not sure that all of them were, but they went ahead with it. So we used the pattern, The World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. Super simple mittens. And the fun thing about this pattern, I'm not sure they're the world's simplest because they have toddler, child, adult, small, medium, and large, and then they have the pattern is written for fingering, DK, worsted, or chunky. So there's a lot going on in the pattern, and I think that's been maybe a good thing because they are learning to read a pattern and circling their size and circling their weight, but it's been maybe a little more complicated than I thought it would be. But they are fun mittens. This is the pair that I made, and this is a child size, so it almost fits me. It's a little small for me, but yeah, it's a little short this way. And the yarn I used here is what is it? Nature Spun by Brown. Nature Spun by Brown Sheep. There's not going to be any editing because of the retreat this week, but I love a mitten that has the thumb coming out of the side because then you don't have to worry about right or left. It's easier to knit and it's easier for the wearer. And I've been keeping that in this little bag that I got when I went to the yarnery in Minneapolis, or it's in St. Paul, I think, with Sarah Love Sock Wool. I put this little bit of green yarn in here because I was kind of tempted to put a little embroidery on these, but I haven't decided whether I want to do that. But I thought it might be fun to do a little something on them to make them a little bit special, and those will go to the charity. Our local pantry, clothing pantry, is called Threads, Hope, and Love. So that's where those will be going for their Christmas giveaway. I'm going to shift some things out of the way here, push that over, and let's see, I have other things to show. I've been to the Maine retreat and Rhinebeck since I last recorded. So at the Maine retreat, we did a swap organized by Seashore Sharon. I can finally say Seashore Sharon without totally messing it up and getting tongue-tied, but we made these little pouches. Everybody made one. I think most people did. And it's called the Amulet Pouch by Maggie Luongo. And then this is the one I made for Eagle Crest because we're doing the same thing, which is what works at Maine will work for Eagle Crest too. So what we did was we each made one of these. You can make the tie longer and hang it around the neck, but I wasn't going to knit I-cord it. I just did a twisted tie here. And the yarn here is from Leading Men Fiber Arts. It's actually sport weight, so mine's a little bigger. And then we tucked a little gift in there. We weren't supposed to spend a lot of money. We just put something, stitch markers, lip balm, whatever, something small. And it was a nice icebreaker. So you might keep that in mind for a retreat or something that you're doing with knitting friends, because it was a lot of fun. And so yeah, this is the one that I'm taking to Eagle Crest, and I have a couple ideas of little things I purchased that I can put in there for the recipient. And in Maine, I want to show you these things. It seems just that they're so cute. You have to see them. Okay. This was a gift from Cat and Hat for the new baby. And I am actually going to send this stuff off this week to them, but I have others. I'm going to send off those other little hats and this and another thing I'm showing you. So this is actually, I think it's Susan B. Anderson's from Itty Bitty Hats, the Marley Hat. But Kathy did it in a self-patterning yarn, and has these cute little things on the top. So it's adorable. Thank you, Kathy. I know that they will love that. And then this is a bit of a tale here, because Susan B. Anderson gave the baby a gift, and it's in one of the Barrett wool bags. This is going to be sent off too. It's just, gosh, this is so cute. She made this hat. It's her clover hat pattern, and then this cute pom-pom on top. I love, oh there, that's good. Gray and pink together. So isn't that cute? Clover Hat is the name of it. And then she had blogged about this, that she really loves this author for children's books. And so this is the book called Birds by Kevin Hanks. I think I might have said Hankies or something, but I think it's probably Hanks. And she had the book signed by both the author and the illustrator, and it is a beautiful book. And because I love birds, it's just so perfect for me and the baby. So to go with that, and that's why I'm kind of leading up to, I decided it's never too early to be teaching kids about birds. So our local nature center has a little shop, and it benefits the park that we like to hike in. And they have these, I've seen them in other places too. I think they're readily available, but they are stuffed animals that when you press back here, they make the actual sound of the bird. So, sorry, I realize I'll be so loud. I'll try to cut that out. I won't do the cardinal, and the other one is the cardinal. And I think I'm gonna pick. I couldn't remember exactly what birds when we were there last. I'm gonna get all the birds there in the book. It has a goldfinch and a robin. I think those are the main ones. So those are just so cute, and the girls are gonna have a little collection of birds. They have owls, and yeah, it'll be a fun thing for us to start teaching them the bird songs. Because if you are a bird lover and like to hike, you really need to learn. It's really more fun if you start learning the audio, because then you know what you're looking for. If you hear a cardinal, or you hear a chickadee, or you hear a pileated woodpecker, then you kind of know the habitat to look for, or whatever. So I think it's much easier to learn those things when you're young than it is to learn as an adult. Okay, now that from here on, it's going to be a lot of things. Well, not too much, but, oh, okay, back up. Because of that book, I decided that, all right, this is the new Making magazine. I don't know why I haven't subscribed. I just keep buying them, but I'm going to, definitely. This one, the reason I bought it was because it has Susan B. Anderson's pattern for Sleepy Kitten set. And she also has these as kits in the Barrett Wool site. They are so, so cute. So I want to make these for Christmas for the girls. Of course, the little one is too young to play with something like this, but then when she gets a little older, they'll each have one. And that gave me the idea then to buy another book by that author that Susan recommended. She said everything he's done is so gorgeous. So this is Kitten's First Full Moon. I've seen this book before, but I never really connected it or paid attention to the author. So it is a Caldecott medal. I had to look to see whether it was one that was a nominee or what. But anyway, there it is. It's all in grayscale, black and white grayscale. There's no color in it. But it's a beautiful book and a cute story, short, because the two, Helene doesn't have a very long attention span when it comes to looking at books. But I think if she has her sleepy kitten and the book, it'll be a fun thing for her settling down. And also in making, I'm going to talk about this on the audio a little bit more, but there are so many great patterns in here. If you love brioche, there's a pattern by Andrea Mowry called Reina Shawl that is gorgeous, and especially in just those neutral colors. I love it. There's so many things in here I want to make. These refract socks. Look at those. They're not that hard, but they look fantastic. And then the other one that really... Oh, there's a sewing project that I really want to make in here. It's this little... Looks like Christmas might be a cat theme. It's this little... Okay, I can't get it. There we are. There it is. There it is. Okay. This little bin. That's so simple to make. And I think I might do that. There's others in here. There were so many patterns in here that I love that I'm really, really glad that I bought it. So yeah, if you like any of those. Now, I also reviewed Kindred Nets, which is a book by Susan B. Anderson. I reviewed it on the show. And it's with Quince & Company, published by them. And they sent me a review copy, which I appreciate very much. So I've already made some of these because Susan used these patterns for teaching a class when I was at SSK. Susan also did the illustration. She is super, super talented lady. I mean, we all knew that, but it still hits you between the eyes every once in a while. And in the back of this, there's a Cardigan Worksheet. So you can take any yarn in any size and customize your own sweater. I mean, how great is that? So that is Kindred Nets, Knitting for Little Ones Near and Far by Susan B. Anderson. And I'm going to be making this hat and then this sweater for a baby that's going to be born in our family. All right, this is a little tip for you, and it's come about because at the Eagle Crest retreat, I'm going to do, this was requested that I do a little breakout session on darning socks, or darning anything really. And I realized that I haven't been strengthening or darning socks much lately, but I have no excuse for it. But it doesn't take all that long if you catch it soon enough. That's the key to it. You have to catch it soon enough. But just as a little tip, I keep everything I need for darning a sock in this little unattractive plastic container. But hey, it works. And in it, I have some Kid Silk Haze that I use for strengthening, and it doesn't hold all of it. I have some wool that I can use for darning, just some purple and navy. I have some silk and wool. This is Noro, which is, silk is nature's strengthening. Silk and mohair are really strong, so that's good. And then I have this darning egg that belonged to my great grandmother, maybe great, I don't know, but I know at least my great grandmother. And I actually use it. Why not? I mean, it's lasted 150 years or something. Might as well use it for darning. And if you don't have a darning egg, they're not expensive. You can buy them easily. But if you don't, you can use a light bulb or a rubber ball or something like that. So that's my little tip is if you keep all your supplies, I have darning needles in there too, and keep all your supplies in one place. And I need to label it because I did have a little trouble finding it in the cupboard because I didn't have it labeled. So I'm going to put darning on here, darning on the top, and then when I see something that needs to be mended, I can do it. We live in such a throwaway society, and people think, oh, that sock has a weak spot or a hole, let's just throw it away. Well, if you've spent 20 hours knitting a pair of socks, you really can spend 15 minutes fixing one, and they're fine. I mean, most of the time when they wear on the sole or toe or heel. Those are places that people don't really see but are uncomfortable for the wearer. It's nothing fun about having your heel or your toe stick through a sock. Okay, that's my little public service announcement. Now, I have purchased a set of the Dukkha Needles. And that is the proper pronunciation, or close enough, because it means happiness in Danish and Norwegian, or happy. And it has this, I don't know what that is. It's smooth like, almost like a velvety canvas or something. But anyway, it could be leather. I don't know. Could be suede. I don't know. But it's a nice case that they come in. If you have not heard of these, they say driftwood. About that. Maybe I can mute that out. These are the little caps that they send to put on the end of the cables if you want to use them as straight needles. But I'm not going to hold this up because I'll probably be losing stuff out of it. But the needles themselves, and I will review these a little more in depth. They say driftwood, but they're not. I mean, they didn't go along beaches and pick up driftwood. They're kind of laminated wood, but they feel really good, and they have a wonderful, wonderful tip. It's really sharp, actually. It's, I don't know if you can see against that white. Sometimes maybe a little too sharp for some things, but I like them. And they go from a 17 a 17 in this set. I don't know. I don't know when I would ever use a 17. I hate big chunky yarn, but just in case, I have it. I think the biggest needle I've ever used is a 10. I'm not up for those. But so far, I really like these. I have used them quite a bit. The only thing you might, if things like this bother you, let me show you something here. These are the smallest ones in the set. I think they're 4s. And as you can see here, the color of these needles is quite different, and this is the pair. So if that would bother you, when I look through this set, more of them are alike than not, but some of them may be where one is significantly lighter in color than the other one. And some people, just from what people have said, that would bother them. It doesn't bother me at all. But if it bothers you, that might be something to think about. I've also purchased the fixed circulars in a few sizes to try those out. And I really like those as well. So those are the Dukkha Needles. Then I just recently purchased, I'm totally in sweater mode. I'm not knitting much shawls, actually. Not knitting many shawls, and I've been doing mittens and hats and sweaters. And I purchased more of the Phoebe. I purchased a sweaters quantity of Phoebe from Quince & Company because my, what is the name of that with the lace? I know it so well, and I can't think of the name of it. It has the lace. It's a Kindred Nets pattern also. But anyway, I'm going to make another one, I think. Or I may decide to do something else. But this is a tonal yarn that Quince has, and it's in a DK weight. And I really, really like it. Here. Sorry about the lighting there, but I love this pink. And I just think that's going to be so fun. That'll be probably, I don't have sweater quantities of yarn really on hand. I have a fair bit of yarn, but I don't generally stock up on sweater quantities. So when I want to knit a sweater, I need to buy. Speaking of buying, let's talk a little bit about just a few things, actually. I didn't buy yarn when I was at the Maine retreat that I can remember. I can't really remember, but I bought a little bit at Rhinebeck. Not that much at Rhinebeck either. But one of the things that I mentioned on the audio is that this is in a Ziploc plastic bag. So, gosh, it's already 30 minutes here. I better move along so I don't. Angie and I were at the Green Mountain Spinnery booth, and we both wanted to make this hat. I don't think you can get any information off that except the gauge and such. But it's the Hat Quartet Fall. And they had both of these samples up, and we decided to go for this burnished orange colors. And they were 50-gram skeins. No, are they 100-gram skeins, I think. Yeah, should say 58-gram skeins. This is a green color, and it's DK weight. It's called, well, this is Evergreen, and it doesn't have, oh, music, M-E-W-E, like M with U, like the sheep, female sheep, and then S-I-C. So music is the line that they have. And it is 100% American wool. So that's evergreen. That's a dark green. And then the other colors are these. I'm not going to try to remember the names of them. But they are there. You can see them a little bit better in that one. I would never pick these colors. So I like it when somebody kind of pushes me into something out of my comfort zone. And I know I'll love knitting it. Let me just look and see what the one size fits most. So it's an adult size, but I think it'd be pretty easy. If I have enough left over, I might just scale down and knit a smaller size for a gift or just to give away, charity or whatever. But this is one of my little Rhinebeck people hand you things, little gifts like pins for podcasts. And I got this little lavender sachet from Seashore Sharon. Sharon, that's twice here in this episode. And she always comes up with something cute, and that was sweet. And I got buttons from different people. I purchased, gotta lean out of the camera. Okay. From Jenny the Potter, she was out of mugs, but I was able to get this little dish that I thought was really cute. Hedgehog and toadstools. That'll be for stitch markers there by my knitting chair. My husband calls my nest. So, and then I got Jenny the Potter stitch markers. They're the dangly kind, which I don't really use that much, but I couldn't resist this one. One of them has little socks on it, and this one has nature. Well, socks aren't nature, but I can't get the packaging out right here. Well, I got you on there, but a bird was in there, so I had to get that. I love birds. So that was the first purchase I made. I also purchased some Lolo bars, which are, I don't need to really show you that, but they smell good. And then this pattern I got, I don't even know what the booth was, but it's called Annie's Mittens, which I just thought they were adorable. And then I was trying to think if I had yarn at home, red and white, which I probably do. But this, if you go to Rhinebeck, this is Shepherd's Mill. Martha got me onto them. And these skeins are, they're so naturally woolly and they're so inexpensive, $7 per skein. I mean, yeah, that's just an amazing value. Then when I got home, I saw that they actually call for, the pattern calls for sport weight. So I don't know. I might knit out of these and just make them a little bigger. That's what would happen naturally. Or I might be able to find some sport weight. Actually, I thought of some red right now, but it's not this nice rustic kind of wool, which is what I love for mittens, much more than some other things. Another thing I purchased was at ilovealpacasocks.com. And I got these inserts for my husband. They're alpaca inserts for shoes or slippers or boots. And now that I've shown them to you, he can actually use them. He probably would have liked them today because he's on his volunteer day at Habitat for Humanity, and they're working out in the elements basically. So he probably could have used those today, but he'll get them for next week when he goes. And then I got myself a pair of socks with sheep on them. These are alpaca, 56% alpaca and bamboo and a little bit of nylon spandex. So I thought I'd try them because sometimes my hand knit socks are a little too thick for certain shoes, but these are thinner, and alpaca, as you know, alpaca is really warm. Now, if you're interested, you can sign up for their email, and they're going to have Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. Isn't it crazy that people are already doing that? And we're 2 weeks away from, more than 2 weeks away from Black Friday, 2.5 weeks away, and we're seeing early Black Friday, but, well, they're good deals for us. But anyway, there's a code for free shipping in 2017 on orders over $49, and it's Festivals 17. Festivals 17. I don't understand why everything's reversed, but the print is not. That doesn't make sense when I'm looking through this camera. But anyway, I am thinking of getting these for the men folk and maybe women folk in the family. I don't think all of them would use them or wear them, but I might. I don't know. But I'll see how my husband likes them first. And that is ilovealpacasocks.com. So if you're looking for, the inserts were $10, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And then they come in sizes. There are 3 major sizes, and then you can cut them down to size if you need to. All right. Those are stitch markers from Mountain Rutschen Studio. Those might go in my little amulet pouch along with something else I purchased. Oh, here's something fun. This is, when I was standing in line, I saw Claire of New Hampshire Knits and the Woolly Thistle, and she gave me one of her bags. So I really like Claire, and thank you, Claire. That was so sweet of you. And yeah, the Woolly Thistle. She has a great shop with wonderful things there. All right, I'm going to look at my list here, and I think that's about it. If I left something out, well, yeah, I might put some photos in if I have time. When I edit this, I'll put some photos in from Maine and Rhinebeck. And I'll try to do this again before Christmas. It's harder when I have more things. And yeah, that'll be my goal. We'll see if I do that or not. So thank you so much for taking time to watch me today. And I have enjoyed this. I appreciate your comments and subscribing to the channel and your thumbs up, and have a great week. Haste ye back and hold your knitting close.